Hello, America, and welcome to another episode of the Kizzy Show, where we talk about what you want to hear. This is something we're probably going to start doing. I was watching all the college football games this past Saturday, and I was like, oh my goodness, we need to do a reaction episode just while all the stuff is fresh on our heads. And I was like, Silas, do you want to do an episode Sunday? He's like, yeah, sure. And I said, okay, what time do you want to do it? And I never got a text back. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it because, man, we had some craziness happen this past weekend. And it wasn't even just Saturday. The first game I'm going to react to actually happened Friday night in the great city of Louisville, Kentucky, where I was born. I mean, the Clemson Tigers and the Louisville Cardinals played, I think, is the ugliest game. The ugliest football game I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, people have been memeing it all weekend, but nobody wanted to win that game. Louisville said, Clemson, we know y'all been having a bad year. Here we go. We're going to give you one. And Clemson said, no thanks. You guys need to make the playoff. We'll let you win it. And Louisville's like, no. You got it. Clemson said, nope. I insist. You can have it. Louisville's like, nope. Our field, our choice. We'll give you the game. Clemson said, okay, fine. That's not really what they said. But the way they were playing, it sure looked like it. Got to feel bad for those Louisville kickers, but as someone who grew up a Clemson Tiger fan, I don't feel that bad for them. So many just dumb plays. Like, I mean, just if you turn on the highlights, you'll see it. Like, pretty much every single drive, there's something just especially in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was a pretty clean first half for the most part for both teams. Third quarter a little iffy, but that fourth quarter, oh my gracious. Especially the final 2 or 3 minutes. Good grief. Absolutely just. If I had to describe the fourth quarter in 3 emojis, I would do one poop emoji, and one poop emoji, because it was just that stinky. But hey, for all you Clemson fans out there, you're pretty happy with it. Because, hey, got the win, and guess who's going to a bowl game this year? Provided the Tigers beat Furman or South Carolina. Furman's kind of tricky. Might want to watch out. But I will say, Dabo Swinney really talked about this in the post-game interview, but it just really showed the grit and the toughness of this team. They've had a rough year, but they've kept fighting. They haven't thrown in the towel. Really shows the grit and toughness they have on that team to be able to persevere and get a big win like this. One last thing on the Clemson-Louisville game before we go to the other games is, hey, Clemson, stop handing the ball to the D lineman when it's 3rd and goal and 4th and goal. This is why we have running backs. Don't let the lineman run the ball. Let the running back run the ball. I mean, running back means they run the ball. I mean, pretty common sense. I know Peter Woods is a great athlete, but my goodness, when you have Adam Randall and Gideon Davidson, hand the ball to one of those guys and let Peter Woods go block for him. That's what big guys do. They block for the running backs. I digress. Our next game involved another team from the state of South Carolina, the South Carolina Gamecocks. They went into Kyle Field, and my goodness, that first half, they put a whooping on the number 3 Aggies. Just total beamer ball. Defense, special teams, just smacking them boys around, clapping all day. I mean, I was watching that game. I was like, I was kind of worried about A&M watching from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, from the point of view of an Alabama fan, as in we might play these guys in Atlanta for the SEC championship. I was like, well, I was worried about A&M. Not so much. And then they went into halftime. And then the teams came out. And then they played the second half. And oh my goodness. After that game, here are my thoughts. Texas A&M is the best team in the SEC, and it's not even close. To go out, well, first of all, first half was atrocious. It was awful. But lesser teams, in that scenario, you're down 30-3 in your own field at halftime. Lesser teams just fold right there. They give up, say, all right, whatever. But these guys, they put their head in the dirt, and they started fighting. I mean, play of the game, 4th and 12. They're down 30-3, 4th and 12. Marcel Reed gets that huge run, gets the first down. That might have been a Heisman moment for him. Ooh, hey. Just saying. Let me pull Marcel Reed's stats for that second half. First half, he was atrocious. Second half, 16 for 20, 298 yards, 3 touchdowns, 80% completion percentage, Heisman numbers, and more importantly, a win. A win. Getting a win over South Carolina. Aside from the goofy third and goal play where they had the running back throw it back to the quarterback and it was a fumble, that was honestly the best half of football I've ever seen in my life from any team ever. Texas A&M is the best team in the SEC. I almost said the best team in the country, but I still don't think they're better than Ohio State or Indiana. But that is a championship level win. To be able to battle back when you're really, really down and get a win, that shows you're a tough team. And those are the kind of wins you need to go on a deep run in the playoffs, because you're going to be put in situations like this later on. And whenever you can lean back on those games and be like, okay, we've been here, we've done that. Or heck, I doubt they're going to be down 30-3 for any game the rest of the year. This is a point where if you're Mike Elko, you can look at your guys and be like, hey, we've come back from worse than this. Huge win for A&M. They're the best team in the SEC, and it's not even close. Let's talk about another game in the SEC. One that happened in Oxford, Mississippi, that a lot of people would be talking about a lot more had Ole Miss not scored a couple garbage time touchdowns. But, hey, I mean, this is going to be a brief reaction right here, but kind of a struggle win against the old Florida Gators from Ole Miss. Might have made Lane Kiffin kind of put one foot towards the door maybe to go out to Gainesville. I don't know. Probably not. I don't think Lane Kiffin should leave Ole Miss. That's just my opinion. I'm not Coach Kiffin. I can't make that decision. Anyways, Ole Miss, I feel like, is just like Texas this year. They're a good SEC team, but they're not a playoff-level team. Sure, they might make the playoff just because they've had a very favorable conference schedule. They only have one loss so far to a very good Georgia team, who we're going to talk about later. But they're not a legitimate championship contender. Not the way they're playing. Enough of that. Let's talk about a game that happened in a very close proximity to where we're filming here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. A game that happened right down the road in Bryant-Denny Stadium. A game we talked about on the show. A game that whenever I picked this just a couple days ago, I said the way Oklahoma beat Alabama last year, just the way Alabama played a sloppy game in Norman, there is no shot that's going to happen again this year. Not with this team. Not the way they've been playing. Not with that black hoodie that Kalen DeBoer wears on the sideline. It happened again. It happened again. Honestly, we may need to call Maury. I think that's the dude's name. Is that the name of the dude that does like the Who's the Father show? Maury, you think that's right? Yeah. Wesley says that's right. May need to call him down to Tuscaloosa and do a little paternity test, because Oklahoma is Alabama's daddy. That's the way it looks. That's the way it looks, man. I mean, it's the same thing with Alabama and Georgia. Like, Alabama seems to be Georgia's daddy. I think Oklahoma is the father here. If Maury came down here and did the test, it would come back positive, say you are the father. Oklahoma, Brent Venables is Alabama's daddy. I mean, total domination from the Oklahoma defense. Forcing uncharacteristics. I mean, everybody's like, oh, Alabama played so bad. Alabama kept messing up. Well, you know Oklahoma made them mess up. Oklahoma put the heat on Ty Simpson all night, forcing him to make those errant throws. They forced that fumble. People like, I was talking to some guys at church today. They're like, yeah, I don't really think Oklahoma is that good. We just kept messing up. No, Oklahoma is that good. Oklahoma is that good. Their defense is that good. And the thing that's been holding back is their offense. But their defense put their offense in such a favorable position Saturday afternoon in Bryant-Denny to where they didn't really have to do that much. Oklahoma took advantage of just uncharacteristic mistakes. We have not seen Alabama play this bad since that Week 1 loss against Florida State. But Oklahoma took advantage of this, and they capitalized. Defense and special teams won the game for the Sooners. And something else I want to rant on real quick. There was a missed field goal by Alabama kicker Connor Talty early on in the game, which would have won the game for the Tide, looking back on the final score. But something that really kind of made me mad, made my dad mad as we were watching the game, is seeing Talty's response after the kick. He went over to the long snapper and started just yelling at him, man. And, like, sure, the snap was high, but the holder got the ball down. Talty, yeah, it should have been good. The kick got tipped. It's like, dude, there's no way you need to be yelling at your long snapper like that. Like, own up to your mistakes, bro. You missed the kick. You missed the kick, okay? First of all, give credit to the D lineman that tipped it. That's just a good play by him. And, dude, like, the guys in the East were like, oh, the long snapper threw off his timing, man. So, like, he has every right to be mad. Bro, shut up. The hole was perfect. Make the kick. Just make the kick. Don't worry about other people's jobs. Do your job. That's what championship teams do. I'm sure if Coach Saban was still coaching, I'm sure Coach DeBoer is going to lighten him for that. But the Coach Saban teams, they did their job. They did their job. Last game we're going to react to from week number 12, college football, happened down in Athens, Georgia. A big SEC showdown between the Texas Longhorns and the Georgia Bulldogs. And I'm going to start out by saying Texas really hung around this game. Texas played, honestly, better than I thought. They had a legitimate shot to win this game. I mean, they even overcame some mistakes. They didn't honestly play perfect. Far from it, actually. Had a lot of big drops from their wide receivers, and they were still right there with Georgia, at Georgia. And Georgia didn't even start slow. They started off really fast. And Texas killed their momentum. Very good 3 quarters from Texas. Very, very good from Texas. Arch Manning looked pretty good. Aside from one errant pass that was intercepted, he looked pretty good. So 3 great quarters from Texas. However, a football game is 4 quarters. And in that 4th quarter, oh my gracious, as a fan of an opposing SEC team watching the Georgia Bulldogs, I was scared. Really scared. They looked great. Incredible. And I mean, play of the game was that surprise onside kick, because Texas could have had a shot to come back, but just the ballsy call right there from Kirby Smart. I mean, that's what great coaches do. They know when to take risks. And he did. It paid off. And then from that point on, all Georgia, their offense, their defense, I mean, they're scary. I said earlier in this video, A&M's the best team in the SEC. I think Georgia's the scariest team, because I think they're peaking at the right time, and that's not good. In order to win a national championship in college football, you don't need to be the best team in August. You need to be the best team in November, December, January. It also doesn't matter if you were buns in August. It doesn't matter if you were crapola. If you're playing championship level football in November, that's when you know you got a team that can win it all. We saw that from Ohio State last year. They lost to Michigan and then went in the playoffs and looked like they were the freaking Buffalo Bills, just destroying everybody. And this Georgia team is peaking at the right time. If you are another football team in the United States of America, you should be scared of the Georgia Bulldogs. They are really freaking good. And yeah, that's about it. Tell us there's an ant on the desk. Holy cow. See ya, buddy. That's what Georgia is going to do to everybody else in the playoffs if they keep playing like this. So thank you guys for watching to the end of this reaction episode of the Kizzy Show. We'll probably be doing one of these every week for the rest of the college football season. Please do all the cringy YouTube stuff that I don't want to ask you to do, like, subscribe, turn on the bell, all that crap. Be sure to watch our super segments on the channel. I'm going to chop this up for little bits in case you don't have time to watch this full episode. Watch those. Check out Setting the Tone, a little devotional, Monday through Friday on the channel. And as always, God bless. You guys have a great day.